Across the world, children know Santa Claus as the jolly man in red who flies through the night delivering gifts on Christmas Eve. But this modern image is the result of centuries of legends, religious traditions, and popular culture blending together. In this video, we'll trace Santa's journey from a real 4th century bishop on the Mediterranean coast, through medieval feast days and European folklore, to the North Pole toy factory, flying reindeer, and global icon we recognize today. Along the way, we'll see how writers, artists, advertisers, and entire nations helped shape one of the most enduring figures of Western Christmas celebrations. Santa's story begins with Saint Nicholas of Myra, a 4th century Greek Christian bishop in what is now Turkey. Nicholas became famous for his generosity, especially secret gifts to people in need. One well-known legend tells of him providing dowries for 3 poor sisters so they would not be forced into prostitution. Over time, he was honored as a patron saint of children, sailors, and many other groups, and his feast day on December 6th became a time when European children received small presents in his memory. Long before anyone imagined the North Pole, Saint Nicholas was already the beloved gift-bringer of Christian Europe. As Christianity spread across Europe, traditions around Nicholas blended with older winter festivals. In England, a figure called Father Christmas developed in the 16th century, portrayed as a large man in fur-lined green or scarlet robes who embodied feasting and good cheer. In the Netherlands and Belgium, Saint Nicholas evolved into Sinterklaas, arriving by horse or steamboat in early December with helpers who rewarded good children. Folklorists also note parallels with pre-Christian Germanic beliefs, the god Odin with his long beard and winter sky rides, and the Yule goat and other midwinter gift-bringers in Northern Europe. These overlapping figures helped prepare the way for the later Santa Claus. When Dutch and English settlers carried their winter customs to North America, their versions of Saint Nicholas and Father Christmas gradually merged. The Dutch name Sinterklaas was anglicized into Santa Claus, and by the late 18th century, that name was already appearing in American newspapers. In 1809, writer Washington Irving playfully described Santa as a pipe-smoking Dutchman in a green coat, sailing over treetops to deliver gifts. His humorous portrait was part of the wider effort to tame rowdy Christmas celebrations and turn them into a more family-centered holiday. These American reimaginations set the stage for Santa's full transformation in the 19th century. The decisive makeover came in the 19th century. An anonymous 1823 poem, later known as The Night Before Christmas, described a magical nighttime visit from Saint Nicholas in a miniature sleigh pulled by 8 reindeer. It portrayed him as chubby, merry, and fond of laughing, details that strongly influenced later depictions. From the 1860s onward, political cartoonist Thomas Nast drew Santa repeatedly for Harper's Weekly, gradually standardizing him as a round, bearded figure and even suggesting that he lived at the North Pole with a busy workshop. By the late 1800s, American authors had also given him a wife, Mrs. Claus, further enriching the growing Santa mythology. In the 20th century, mass media and advertising carried Santa to every corner of popular culture. Department stores and charities adopted him as a symbol for fundraising and seasonal promotions, with volunteers dressing in red suits to collect money for the poor. In the 1930s, artist Haddon Sundblom painted a warm, red-suited Santa for Coca-Cola's Christmas campaigns, helping cement the now familiar image. Though similar red and white Santas had appeared in magazines years earlier, new stories added more details. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer joined the team in 1939, and countless books, radio plays, television specials, and movies presented Santa as a timeless friend of children. Today, traditions linked to Santa vary widely around the world. In many countries, he is said to travel by sleigh on Christmas Eve, landing on snowy rooftops and slipping down chimneys to fill stockings left by the fireplace. Children write letters to him, sometimes addressed to the North Pole or to special postal centers, and some nations run official programs that answer those letters. Others focus more on older figures such as Sinterklaas or local gift bringers. Yet Santa still appears in parades, shopping malls, and holiday parks from North America to Europe and beyond. Modern technology even allows military and space agencies to track his imaginary journey each year. Because Santa is so closely tied to Christmas, he has also sparked debate. Some Christian groups have criticized the focus on Santa as a distraction from religious meaning, while others see him as a harmless symbol of generosity. In officially atheist states of the 20th century, Santa and Christmas were sometimes discouraged, yet families continued to celebrate in private. Critics also point to the heavy commercialism attached to his image, even as charitable drives use Santa costumes to raise money for people in need. Whatever the perspective, the character that began with Saint Nicholas and evolved through centuries of folklore now stands as one of the most recognizable figures in modern culture.